Let's get to the news. In a post on Truth Social over the weekend, President Trump said that without the U.S. subsidizing Canada, the country would cease to exist, and added that it should, quote, become our cherished 51st state. And I gotta say, I'm shocked that Trump knows how many states there are. Cherished. When you hear cherished, run. In another post, President Trump also criticized the U.S. trade relationship with Canada and said, quote, Canada doesn't even allow U.S. banks to open or do business there. What's that all about? Well, he has a point. U.S. banks aren't allowed to operate in Canada, well, except for Citibank and PNC, also JP Morgan and Comerica. You know what? From now on, I'm just going to use the man as sort of a reverse Wikipedia. As soon as he says something, I'll just know it's not true. According to a new report, Elon Musk's team at the Department of Government Efficiency is being run by 6 engineers, all men between the ages of 19 and 24. I gotta say, it's not great that all of our sensitive government information is in the hands of guys who can be bribed with tacos and side boob. After signing an executive order imposing tariffs on Canadian, Mexican, and Chinese imports, President Trump posted on Truth Social over the weekend, quote, will there be some pain? Yes, maybe, and maybe not. Well, I'm reassured. Are you president or a strip mall dentist? President Trump imposed a 25% tariff over the weekend on goods coming from Canada, including honey, whiskey, and peanut butter, or as Rudy Giuliani calls it, my morning smoothie. I can live without the honey and the peanut butter. There's only a little bit of those. During FBI Director nominee Kash Patel's confirmation hearing Thursday, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar questioned Patel about reports that he maintains an enemies list. Said Patel, and that's Klobuchar with a K. The Grammys were held last night, and Beyonce won Best Country Album for Cowboy Carter. For more on this story, answer that call from your grandpa. According to a new report, rodents are able to chew through the allegedly rat-proof trash bins that New York Mayor Eric Adams has mandated all landlords use. You know, I think it's just as well. Access to trash is the only reason the rats let us live here. If we take trash off the menu, we're next. According to a new survey, the most popular cheese in New Jersey is mozzarella. I mean, yeah, it's Jersey. It's also the most popular vegetable. And finally, the FDA last week approved a new pain medication. Perfect timing, said Drake. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced yesterday that President Trump's proposed tariffs on imports from Canada had been paused for a month in exchange for implementing a $1.3 billion border plan and appointing a fentanyl czar, both of which are things they were doing anyway. It's like NBC telling me they're going to cancel my show unless I do 3 closer looks a week and dress like a dad on a camping trip. President Trump and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum reached an agreement yesterday to pause U.S.-Mexico tariffs for a month after she finally backed down and agreed to explain to him how tariffs work. Oh, so we pay that? Well, that's not good. That's right. President Trump yesterday agreed to a month-long pause on his plan for tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods so we can all breathe a sigh of relief unless he's overruled by the actual president. After signing an executive order imposing tariffs on Canadian, Mexican, and Chinese imports, President Trump posted on Truth Social over the weekend, quote, will there be some pain? Yes, maybe, and maybe not. Not for nothing. Those were also his vows, so very loving. After he was elected as the new chairman of the Democratic National Committee over the weekend, Ken Martin told reporters, quote, we're taking the gloves off. Then a few minutes later, he told reporters, okay, bad news, Trump stole our gloves. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene sent letters yesterday to top leaders at PBS and requested they testify before her committee. Also, that they explain this relationship. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis proposed a new holiday yesterday called Second Amendment Summer that would remove sales tax on firearms and ammunition between Memorial Day and the 4th of July. Is that a good idea, though, making weapons easier to get right when Florida is at its most humid? OpenAI revealed a new tool called Deep Research at an event over the weekend that can scan the internet and compile a report which can be used for important research, like, is your ex doing better than you? The sandwich chain Subway has begun offering an Oreo footlong cookie, which features a chocolate cookie topped with vanilla cream and crushed Oreos. So if you see that at Subway, order it. And if you see it on the subway, wait for the next train. And finally, a nudist Caribbean cruise called the Big Nude Boat set sail yesterday from Miami. Finally, a cruise where norovirus is the best thing you could get. President Trump held a joint press conference last night at the White House with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and said that the U.S. will relocate more than 2 million Palestinians and take over the Gaza Strip. And I got to agree with White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles on this one. I mean, look at that face. That's how my dog looks when someone accidentally steps on a squeaky toy. What the hell was that? After President Trump announced during a press conference last night that the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip and redevelop it, the New York Times referred to it as, quote, one of the most brazen ideas that any American leader has advanced in years. Are you sure brazen is the right word here? That's like calling Jeffrey Dahmer an innovative chef. Former President Joe Biden signed on Monday with the talent agency CAA, so if one of the Masked Singers forgot the words, that's probably him. Yeah, it's hot in this thing. When asked yesterday if Elon Musk is shutting down the U.S. Agency for International Development, President Trump reportedly chuckled and told reporters, quote, sounds like it. I love that he just finds out about this stuff the same way we do, you know? Just catching a random notification on his phone after trying to avoid the news all day. Oh, taking over the payment system at the Treasury. Boy, that doesn't sound good. Guy's a lunatic. According to the latest numbers, 15.4 million people watched the Grammy Awards. As for who didn't watch, whoever sat behind Jaden Smith. Excuse me? And now for the castle. Authorities in Pennsylvania are looking for thieves who allegedly stole 100,000 organic eggs. On the plus side, Elon Musk is no longer the world's richest man. It's the egg cartel. In honor of the return of the Shamrock Shake, McDonald's is reintroducing its character Uncle O'Grimacy after a decades-long absence, so it sounds like someone finally charmed the parole board. New Jersey last month took the bald eagle off its endangered species list and placed them on the specials menu at Wingstop. I mean, I guess the question is, what did we want the audience to do? According to experts, New Yorkers can curb seasonal affective disorder by sitting in front of a light box, or for the lucky New Yorkers that actually have one, a window. Finally, the New York Times published a profile yesterday of a Philadelphia Eagles fan who owns more than 300 jerseys. Even more amazing, there's a Jets fan who has 2. President Trump spoke today at the National Prayer Breakfast in case you needed more proof that those don't work. While speaking today at the National Prayer Breakfast, President Trump said, quote, none of us knows exactly when our time on Earth will be over. I don't know, I'm thinking whenever RFK Jr. gets confirmed. In a post on X, Elon Musk said yesterday that the Department of Government Efficiency will make, quote, rapid safety upgrades to the air traffic control system. Really? The guy who makes SpaceX rockets and Teslas? The guy's responsible for more explosions than Wile E. Coyote. While signing executive orders this week in the Oval Office, President Trump told reporters that he has, quote, left instructions in case Iran assassinated him. And they're about what you'd expect. While taking questions this week from reporters in the Oval Office, President Trump claimed that Palestinians would be, quote, thrilled to have an option to move out of Gaza and said, quote, the Gaza thing never worked out. Never worked out. Trump talks about Gaza like it's Ben Affleck and J-Lo. You know, it never worked out, but there's other territories in the sea. When asked yesterday during a media appearance about President Trump attending Sunday's Super Bowl game, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce said that no matter who the president is, he's excited to have him. And don't feel bad, Travis, none of us are sure who the president is. According to the latest numbers, the 30-second Super Bowl commercial costs between $7 and $8 million. Wow, who has that kind of money to spend on ads? Oh, right, good for him. Good for him. I think he bought Bitcoin early. A Florida woman was arrested recently for battery after she allegedly got into a verbal altercation with an employee at a 7-Eleven and threw a banana at them. Said the employee, I didn't even know we sold those. And finally, rapper Kendrick Lamar is set to perform this Sunday at the Super Bowl halftime show. Damn, that is gonna be Drake's worst Sunday since, well, I guess last Sunday. So yeah. That was a monologue, everybody.